to Hannah's Healing channel. In this channel, we want to focus on many things, including childhood programming, trauma, abuse, all sorts of abuse like sexual abuse. There's also verbal abuse, physical abuse, and also mental abuse. We're also going to be focusing on narcissism and codependency. We're going to explain what narcissism is and what codependency is. We're also going to be dealing with loss of or like lack of parenthood, what it means or are the effects of not having a parent, one parent in your life or both parents in your life, and what that does to you. We are also going to be dealing with trauma of all kinds. Like many people have gone through trauma, but they don't know that their behavior is acting out trauma. So you find someone has been traumatized, but they can't keep relationships, they can't be able to cope with others, they are not able to even withstand pressure, because when they were growing up, they went through a lot of trauma and it affected the mind. So we're going to discuss all these mental issues in this channel, and also I'll leave the comment sections where you can ask questions and maybe suggest other topics that you would want us to discuss. Yeah, just like I said, my name is Hannah. I have a background in pastoral studies and also sociology and politics, and I've also done trauma counseling. I have a certificate in trauma counseling. So with my research, I've done a lot of research on trauma, abuse, and also mental health issues. And I feel like when I look at the society right now, I feel like many people don't know that what they are going through is also a mental or a behavioral deformity or abnormality. So within this channel, I hope that people will be able to, listen, and you're able to articulate your issues and you're able to heal. Because apart from just disseminating information in this channel, we also want you to focus on your healing, inner healing. You see, the amazing thing about life is many people are working out things on their careers, you're working out things for your marriage, you're working out things on many things. But many people don't focus on their inner person, or to develop themselves, or do a SWOT analysis on who they are. So in this channel, we're going to teach people on how to go in-depth and look in-depth within yourself. What are some of the issues in your life that you need healing from? What are some of the issues that you might need deliverance from? What are some of the issues that you need to, start healing in your mind? Because many people also have mental illnesses like bipolar or depression, and they don't know. So in this forum, we're going to be discussing, symptoms of various mental illnesses. And we're going to be discussing also narcissism. Narcissism is a big issue right now in the world, where you find some people are in abusive marriages or families, and yet they don't know they are dealing with a narcissist. We need to know who is a narcissist, what are the characteristics of a narcissist, and how to know how to cope with a narcissist, which most of the time is to just cut off or to relate from a distance. And also we are going to relate the spiritual roots of some of these things, the spiritual roots of narcissism, the spiritual roots of even some of the mental illnesses. So this forum is meant to help you grow, to discover yourself more, and also to help you connect with yourself. Many of the things that people are going through right now in the world is because they don't know who they are. You see, if you don't know who you are, if you can't connect with your inner self, then it's very hard for you to be able even to want to change, because when you are walking in ignorance, you will not see yourself or your behavior as a problem to other people. You will always be going somewhere and people you can't get along with people, and you keep blaming those people. And this pattern goes on and on and on. But in this forum, you're going to discover yourself. As you listen more, you'll discover, some of the things that may be ailing you from within. Because as I said from the beginning, this channel will be focusing on inner healing, on inner things that could be affecting you. We are also going to focus on childhood programming, because I've also learned from my extensive research and from the many stories I've heard from people, it's clear evidence that many people are suffering from childhood programming, whereby maybe you grew up in a family where there was abuse, you grew up in a family where the things that you were taught were not, palatable or compatible with the norms of the society. So we are also going to be highlighting childhood programming. Psychologists are also discovering that, most of the marital problems people have are stem back to childhood, programming, or the kind of childhood that you experienced as you're growing up affects even your marriage, whereby the issues that you have are because of the things that you experienced as a child. And before, even when people were, even churches or organizations were counseling people on marriage issues, they never considered, or they never consider, some of them even now, how childhood programming is also, affecting the person's interactive skills with other people. So you find that, someone is marrying, but they are still acting out the programs that they were inculcated when they were kids. There is also a finding that scientists have discovered that at the age of 7 years is when a child now starts the formative years of a child starts from 7 to around 13 or 14 years old, where a child now is discovering themselves, discovering the emotions. And so that's the time, a critical time, where parents should be aware that they should allow the child to, as they help the child to acquire good discipline, but also unfold the child, not mold the child, unfold the child. This child, when they come, they are already packed with their giftings, they're already packed with their destiny in them. So the parent is supposed to help them unfold who they are, but not to really mold them, but to unfold them. The only thing that a parent is supposed to do is teach this child good discipline, the moral principles that will navigate this child to be able to fulfill their purpose and their calling. We'll also look at issues of how childhood programming can also hinder one from not fulfilling their purpose and calling, because if a child grows up in an abusive home, if a child grows up in an abusive environment, they will not be able or fit enough to fulfill the purpose of which they were called for. So those are some of the things that we are going to also be focusing on. And also another thing about childhood programming is most children, codependency and narcissism are also rooted in childhood. How you grew as a child. And codependency and narcissism are also features that you see in a narcissistic family. If one parent is a narcissist, it's more likely or not that one child will be a narcissist. One is and who normally is the golden child, and then the one who was rejected, who was the scapegoat, ends up being codependent. So this is how these things play. We'll also learn how to heal from codependency and narcissism. Although many people have, the research have found out, and even spiritually is, most narcissists have the Jezebel spirit, which is a very hard spirit to deal with. And unless that person submits to the will of God, unless that person comes and knows God again as his personal savior and really submits to God, not just saying you're born again, but really submits to God, that's the only way they can be free. So it's very hard for a narcissist even to go to therapy, because they normally are not able to look deep within to see who they really are. Or they are afraid to look deep within because the evil in them is usually very, great. And, studies have shown that some of these people at the age of 7, they surrender their self-will to these spirits, to these demon spirits. And therefore from then on, they take over them and they really wreak havoc. So wherever a narcissist goes, they keep breaking people, devaluing people. They keep they have a trail of destruction following them. Everyone who comes in contact with a narcissist ends up heartbroken, or even loses their senses or their life. There have been stories of where people who have related with narcissists have mental fog, have mental, destabilization, or they get into mental illnesses, or they have a mental breakdown. So we are also going to discuss such issues. Another topic that we're going to be discussing in this forum is your identity. How to recognize your identity. What your identity is all about. You see, in the world right now, many people are focusing on the identity being on the things they have, or the background they come from, or even just, the career that they have, or the qualifications that they have gotten. But your identity is not pegged on any of these things. These are just, accolades that you have, but your real identity, who are you as a person? If all these things were to be taken away from you, who are you as a person? So we are also going to be focusing on identity, and also some of the things that affect your identity, and how you can also regain over your life past toxic child programming. You can regain your identity also past abuse and trauma. You can still be able to recover your identity, past all the things the society has told you that you are, or even the things that the devil has done into your life to wreck your life. You can still regain your identity as a person. So we are also going to be teaching you in this forum how you can regain your identity in Christ. Another thing that we are also going to be focusing on is the effects of not having a parent in your life. When one parent or even both parents in your life, we are also going to focus on infantilization, which means that as a child you started being given responsibilities of an adult when you were young. And that one will also focus on the effects of that in your life, the effects of being infantilized by your parent or their guardian or someone, the people who are around you. And that thing happens a lot. And so we are going to also discuss how those children cope and how they end up becoming. Those are the topics that we are going to discuss in this forum. And you're also welcome in our comment section to ask questions or even request, or some of the things that you would want to learn that pertains mental health in this channel. So we hope that to see you next time. The next time we start now, we'll start with childhood programming and how childhood programming shapes your identity, and even how to unlearn evil programming and become your own true self away from the evil childhood programming. Thank you.